Ye tissue mu okunini. Safari tissues. Eye moto.
Safari the best. Safari the tissue masters.
Hey, Pedro, Nancy, who ya Pedrianu?
Ama Kingdom Garlic Bitters and Capsules no me no me no. Menu mo atosoma. Ena nanse hu se obesore na me na ho. Eya na me kwa jogging. Ahoɔden na bedwa. Mitimi nante afuru sane a menti brebium sanse emoja ne timi free adwuma. Ana immune system no so eye na adwuma.
Kingdom Herbal Center for Dre. Ena wudi ho dance ye.
Men na mese wo se de ofura mefro usane nso a mesane.
Anya kwadwo mesme di asem asio. Kingdom Garlic Bitters and Capsules na daroma. Ene ambama yo besima.
Oyiwa Kingdom Garlic Bitters and Capsules dra Food and Drugs Authority for ajatum say boost to immune system. Wa kese boost obesity wedropa enie ana rheumatism arthritis. Kingdom Garlic Bitters and Capsules. Mo pedodo to enko Kimberlin Avenue. Okaishi Drug Lane ewo enkran. Drugstore biemu we sabetimi akabi. Etimi afre Kingdom Herbal Center for 0275 804064 and 0302 938153. Kingdom Garlic Bitters and Capsules.
No challenger.
Brother, sister, one say ya na. So one say ya mamen kanchiro. Adepane ye dihu adansie. Okuno pane ye born in Samrani. Oba obune ho na ye freni raba. Mrs. Sonashe. Kanashe. What the nomunashe? Na wobe hu se ade papa wotuyem. Ena enam papa swojum. Ever milk ye soya milk. Eya motu. Sawunoma eco smooth. Hey, protein wom, vitamins wom, and omega-3s wom. Make metro. So what taste ya? Wana wube believing. And no na ye kano wa brofumu se.
Evermilk. Taste is believing.
What you wanna be?
FDA achi ejwedi nkratoi atu.
Why, Wura? Always Wura. Why does her quest to save her gold and business leave us hungry, unemployed, and broken? Why?
Don't miss the new drama series, Wura, where everything is fair game. Watch as Wura does whatever it takes to own it all, only on Showmax. Sign up now at showmax.com.
Yebetimi edi ehusi we bibifue kukudama waba ya pensui. Abra yen kai fa hundi a wakujima ye nana. Fa hundi a yetumi di achira yen krabia. Ubazi ipe esua. Yesi akwenya. Wankasa ubetimi di nsi ujina ye. Se ude money guam to wallet ni edi juma. Uo fa hundi se wuche bre. Ni biaya. Yen fa usi kamreo. Chop make a chop. Ma homene so. Dial *270#. Nache ukakra. Eda u money guam si kamani yeso. Tuya tu zipe wallet mu. Ana kuhi wenye agent ebro 40,000. Watu wapiti wa maya fa
Z-Pay mobile money. Chop make I chop.
Usika seme nkoyiana. Quick credit siasia se. Sika pe ennafom. Intina yabasa ye bechecha o yambosia bonshesha ye ho. Utumi babosia edifi asia ye fee 1,500 Ghana cedis. Edeko. Na nia wuhia ne wo national ID card. Wuhia sa wubetu susu. Wuhia awowa. Yenjise kebia anto ho. Wunsansu hia se. Wune yembe buye futuo bia. Quick credit ewo homao. Say ye dwana wopese wudi. Ana wopese wo she ejuma for frase. Ana say ye school fees. Ana po eyeye. Wosumi ejuma ye phone so ye wo bi mamo. Nemom kai say ye mobosia ewo internet so. Afen so omanti kakrobia batan. Bank of Ghana and sa wo dwumedie yimu. Enti tuturi kana freyeng wo 0302 200 Ana 0596 920 833. Quick credit. London made simple. Kai said media yin shishaye kakra wo ho.
Anytime I feel lonely, feeling sad, only one station makes me happy. When I wake up in the morning, only this station makes my day. Yeah. Oh, Asempa, Asempa, Asempa FM. Asempa, Asempa, Asempa FM. Oh, Asempa, Asempa, Asempa FM. Asempa FM 94.7. Continue radio 94.7. Asempa FM. Oh yeah, don't papa. Asempa FM. Everywhere you are. Asempa FM. Everywhere you go. Asempa, hey. Asempa, hey. All talk, all day.
94.7 Asempa FM Suni all talk all day. Ekosiisen dwumadi no wasogo so a utie no. Ma yena mu nyina asene ensan so makwa ba. We've done 4 minutes after 4. So the body kan ate no, the honorable Sam George is here with us. Yene no ebabedi and komo. You know say last weekend the attention of the nation was on the NDC and on presidential and parliamentary primaries across the length and breadth of the country. And for every constituency, there are parliamentary primaries not a course. So presidential the course, but parliamentary in some constituencies me and to. But here in the Greater Accra region, now attention will ningo pram for obvious reasons because nipa mienu ana age no. Apart from some of your cousins, no, Omedika contested proud to the 2020 elections. The Honorable Sam George winning our primaries. No, subsequently, the contestant back no eba be regional chairmanship elections na ankoye amfama no, and osan so be abuse or osan be contested for the parliamentary primaries. Internal attention papa and the narrative around that election. Of course, Unim say in this current parliament, the Honorable Sam George and the Namfo as sponsor private members bill. Na abaya one of the most controversial for the want of a better word bills divide the opinions largely in Ghana. Man for accounts and bebre in the interest the election nemo papa. Omo share so last Saturday and Nyame he emerged victorious. And then the agency and no ebetna say Eddie and Komo. Honorable Sam George, congratulations, Eddie Kain.
Thank you so much, Minia.
Me say we are there who expect say will be winning, but did you expect so will be winning by this margin?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because we take me interviews, na mamidi kind charity for. Take me interviews, on the morning of the elections, around 9 a.m.
Yes.
Joy FM, my sister station, reporter interview me, and I'll be saying me say, would it be a victory? I'm catching and say it will be my best election ever. I catch and say it will be a resounding victory, and I'll say victory. I'm saying no, I didn't say victory. I said
a resounding
victory. Because I was clear in my spirit about Nyamiaka Fasa election way. And many delegates in Asia. I mean, we'll be some team now. First week of April. Me starting my campaign because also we couldn't campaign in March because of parliamentary directive, na party namano. And my team was on the ground in March. Now, somehow now it didn't look good. And a lot of falsehood had been peddled. My first week of rounds, it didn't look like I would even get 200 votes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
But over a period of 2 weeks, call around. We had picked up that and at this point, my main celebrating my team, my team Jata, campaign team Jata. They are. I keep arguing and saying that they are the best political machinery in the whole of this country.
Wow.
Because guidance, they're able to deliver based on what you want. And say, say, okay, fine. Each branch, per se, say, we want this information. Because for me, I always say elections are not a science and an art. People don't understand. I believe elections are driven by data. And see, I requested some data from them. And one more decided data not back. We sat down, analyzed it, and on the basis of that, when I went back on the ground, me share branch now. And you don't need to talk. You don't need to ask me a question. I knew what the issues were. I addressed those issues. And it wasn't just CASA. The difference between Introne no evidence adansidie.
Yeah.
Because intro ye kasa. No ye kasa. But intro any adansidie. Because I intro. But no credit e wa adansidie. And for me, it was about going back. And so this is the first time I went on a campaign trail with a projector.
Oh, you did? Projector branch be a
projector. Me evidence of everything. Not just like addressing the issues because picture no lie, video no lie. You know, and so when issues are raised in places of I see some judge in here, and you can show people evidence of what it is that has been done, testimonies and I record the and it makes, because you see constituency also so. And we used to have 93 branches, and now we have 193.
193.
Yes.
Wow.
And 100 new branches, and most of those 100 new branches are new executives. One more name nyama akoso constituency neda.
Okay.
One more year arguably new political entrants. And it's easy to sway them. But Senamakano and Trandi Kasa. And so then you are leaving them in a limbo as to choose what it is. But because you're very discerning people, no, who can now the wasem call any will look cranical, and I would the dance you're able to sit back and say, and so you could see people's faces. And from I read a lot of body language. When in the panic kasa, who frame meeting, who share meeting, naseno, who say who start to say who kasa no, who kaki joke no kran panensre, wamona, what I say who but midway through your presentation, now when say nipano, nima start say by the time we know, nani pano pejan and sana catch will say, honorable, I do hamo. I thought wrong about you, but I'm grateful you've made me see what the truth is. And the panel no, I feel the panel will trap picture or no straight or number. I mean, uko fear, none the panasa frewa dawase, send message, show crying. Throw back a catcher say, when me branch no 9 no, na ye nuichi, but after meeting no yen 6 see a dear tawichi, nipa 3 way, say we you to myself. You realize your message has permeated. You realize
before these meetings, no, now communication is a problem with them.
But say March, the whole of March, now my opponent air campaigning.
Okay.
But based on the parliamentary directive, I couldn't campaign.
Now want to campaign.
And to many and to know Shanko and our platforms, WhatsApp platforms, Nyama account platforms. So when Yamani be what me kaya. But to me, be someone who say, hey, now some judge no me no and I mean, eventually some of these things even came to mainstream media. Which is, I mean, opening the case, me, I am a beneficiary of LGBTQ support. I mean, who in their right senses will even suggest or think that? But
people believe that.
Sending your packaging of constituency, you know. So why say people believed it. People believed advocacy, you know, me Eddie Bois. LGBT for me, mom hype, and I woman finance me. I mean, all kinds of things. Until you sat down and broke the issues down to the people, made people realize some of the challenges we are facing because of LGBT. That we have said we are paying a huge price for this advocacy that we are doing. And when there are times I had to show people emails of the kinds of challenges we are going through. And you see, in most of the new branches, the new settlement areas, they're middle class people. And so, but when you break the issue down for them, then you realize that honorable. As I'm saying it here, and so you realize that I was clearing my mind by the 3rd week of April.
So now you are
we're done with the work because we had gone back to the people with honesty, with truth. Maybe I'm a corner assembly for example, one of the biggest challenges I had to do with visibility and not connectivity. I mean, kind of connectivity. That's meeting with the new branches. Most of them were elected in September last year. Post September, most of the branches in share face to face. Many almost share during just before the constituency elections. I went round and outdoored all the candidates to them. And after they were elected, me call back at Daumasi. But in what you say, maybe 8 months or in 7 months, I had done 3 tours of the constituency.
Okay.
But some felt that they needed to see me more.
See you more.
It being so Philly say, and there was that thing say, one says, see the old friend or offer. One said they be on our constituency.
Elections,
but and people just bought into it. But then when I went and people raised that issue, then I raised the point to them, say, at this time, Parliament is on recess. There's no committee meeting. There is no parliamentary sitting. National, no region. And MPBA and so your whole time now is free for the constituency. But as I won't say, Nyamia Dromo MP no, or you'll be a region for the Education national phones to the education, parliamentary leadership, the education, or somebody who more than our parliament. And to sign your money now are time consuming. And so now your structure, say the MP has constituency executives, 29 of them and 28 of them are the various areas. And they say, who say constituency chairman and a constituency secretary about meeting, he's there representing the MP. Because at that time, no, a Jumana Mudia Channel Sansa Onion or Gusu. So I asked them, I said, Mupesa Minjai, a Jumana me the advocacy, send a Mutimon, Yatim Ningo in Parliament, media space, no. Minjai na means spend it. See, Debbie, honorable, your person who tone constituency, no. I said, something has to give. But a baby, I mean, so much from. And so now we've decided, at least every year, 4 times in the year, we'll do a tour of the constituency, because I realized that is a weakness I have.
Okay.
And for me, I keep saying I learn from every election. I'm not perfect. And I'm striving for perfection. And so in every election, I pick lessons, I pick things that the delegates say to me and try to get better at it. 4 years ago, I did that. And that's why when accusations came today, I had evidence to show, because 4 years ago, no, accusations never I didn't have Adanside readily available. And if you want, I want to put together all your videos and all of those multimedia things in the course of the campaign. But we were prepared ahead of time.
Based on lessons from the last election. And I'll come back and say, last election, that gap near 7
votes.
7 votes. This time, that gap near saying
410.
What was different this time around? A day in a man saw gap. Because I had the same people in the contest.
Well, not exactly the same people. And you see, that's why every time Obia 2019 primaries, no, I've seen people I want me Dimatem or the trunch shade at me say, oh, on your comb, or we need a primaries pair with 7 votes. And all did it. To the glory of God, I keep saying that any other person would have lost that election, because the dynamics 2019 the dynamics were completely different. You know, the forces at play were extremely different. So Enyanyame sa a damisrono and a adum na or the adum meno, I wouldn't have won that election. And don't forget, I was just 2 years, 2.5 years literally in office.
In office.
So see, I know I'm 6.5 years in office. There's a better footprint on the ground. We've touched a lot more lives. But Debbie Amikacho Nkrofo said, if you look at 2019, where I won the primaries by 7, and then a year later, by general elections, I beat the MPP with a margin of 30,000 votes.
Having taken over with a margin of 3,000.
Yeah. It should tell you, say, on the ground, the BA Koso, that is materializing in the votes that you see. And see, it's like I said, it's a learning curve. My first primaries, I called 2015, was not a delegate primaries. A general membership primaries. Election in the 16,000
and a
16,000.
And only the one I only eat coin.
Any honorable ET men and you realize for me, 2019 was the first time I went into a constituency election, a primaries with that was delegates
elections.
847 people. I had gone in with the mindset of 2015. they're different. A general election and a constituency delegates conference are different. And I've learned lessons from that. And so this time, going into a delegates conference, we're better prepared for it. And that's why I keep saying that for me, maybe I'm Monsieur Adie, I will continue to learn. And even with this election, there are huge lessons I have learned. Say Edru say nyame mame kwan na nyame kase men kobioma na me kobioma, I will do things better.
In the NSA, obi step into Ningo Pram constituency. Some George footprint will be the big ones.
The biggest effect I have had is on the people. Because you see, I came into parliament with my party in opposition.
Yeah.
And my first term in opposition, second term in opposition. Now, MP Ejumano, uye mashibijini, usheshemra. Yes. But because of the challenges of our politics, you know, MPs have become development agents as well.
Sure.
94.7.
Lobbying for development is a function of two things. First, the ability of the government in power to be carrying out development. Because I don't know, ebi wo ho a na wo kosre bia wo benya. Ebi ni ho a wo sra and then I was ready. And then secondly, it's a function of your ability to lobby.
Sure.
Good. On the and I'll break it into two. The first part, the second part, because the second part is even broken into two further parts. About ability of a binankasa to do development now. Obi, and yes, I mean politics. Look how you mean a bind we mean to mean Sinaha and Casa Abina Yashi. But what the two John Mahama are buying now, and now what the two President Mills are buying now, and not even President Kufuor are buying so, and now President Rawlings are buying now. This is one government where development itself, to say infrastructural development, has been at its poorest.
In Ningo Pram or across
the country.
Because we've had some NDC MPs enumerate programs, any project across in their constituencies are some of them yet to the credit of this government.
Oh, that's what I've said. Say, I haven't said say
okay.
Or my baby.
Okay.
But I'm saying when you do a comparison, say chiche at the 100 between Nipa 275, the probability say obenyebi is higher. Say chiche 50 among 275. Good to say. And to me Tsnaha, politics near the idea. But to me, but Tsnaha can say this government has not done anything. However, we share one modern born about infrastructure. And it's not something that you would beat your chest about. I mean, when you look at schools, when you look at hospitals and stuff, when the government started Agenda 111, Agenda 111, no, one see every district or any district
hospital.
Sure. But you see, that comes to the second part, where you have to then lobby and make sure say when contractor say or
deep
capacity,
pocket,
because at the end of the day, and the MPP are buying is touting Ningo Pram as their star Agenda 111 project. Oh yes.
Okay.
Because we didn't have a district hospital.
Okay.
And so what would it be about? But if you look at it, that project is about 45% complete.
Okay.
It's one of the, in fact, it's the most complete in the whole country. But besides, all contractors were given the same amount, mobilization, 10% of the value, 1.7 million. But the same way, it's because of the contractor we lobbied to get this project. Because ono a big time contractor, Shaponji Palonji, ono see Jubilee House, no. Ono na oye tema Mpakadan Railway, no.
Okay.
Or a major or a company in India, and the turnover last year was $12 billion.
One company.
Yes. And the only small company. They're the second largest infrastructure company in the whole of India.
Wow.
And the way a project one bet to me in the crowd on their own. And so you've seen that they've pushed a lot of their resources to just push the project. Because at the end of the day, Obi, me, and I've told President Akufo-Addo this to his face. The commission of part 1 of Temampakadan Railway, no, I want me concerns. The catcher and say, I want him to fix the roads in Ningo Pram because the year free Ningo.
Yeah.
I want him to connect electricity and I want him to build hospitals in Ningo Pram. As I said,
Sure.
I'm not an MP who will say, I want only NDC to come. What I want is development for my people.
Yeah.
Whether you are NDC or MPP, what I want is development for my people. Because every time he does a project in my constituency, my votes because and they are doing me. And say on your
project. But because in the area of constituents, no. How have you used that opportunity?
And the maminka on yadi and year in yadi. But I have made it and I've used this platform. I've said it on several platforms. I'll use this platform again because Obiati Asempa.
Yes.
Ekoiche.
Yes.
Say mami first lady Rebecca Kufado Tia Otia. Me tunofo as me auntie because I mean mami cousin.
Oh.
Yes. Offering me fee. Offering Kabiawe or you mean mami cousin. On mommy, your first cousins. Me too, no for as me auntie. Say one she. Now, also how she has done for the past 6.5 years. Now, ni kunuba ni term no baby year on the 7th of January 2025. What to remember fear,
sir? No, but are you saying, say, as first lady, there is no visible way away to me?
First lady,
on where pull it about.
Wama new ningo bus 55-seater bus.
For whom? Oh, New Senior High School?
No, not even the senior high school. Okay. It's being used by the town. Normally transporting Kwalanoko schools near there.
Okay.
A number of schools. And a 30-year-old market. One will painty, one will renovate a painty a New Ningo station. A 30-year-old market, that's all. Me say, Uba Ningoa. A choir a yediko Ningo. Sakwana enfa prampramo. E was the main Aflao road no so. E was Chopoli.
Yeah.
Chopoli to Ningo is the ancestral road to Ningo. Sakwaina say a 14.5 kilometer road. Me say Rebecca Kufado country nekno. Na be siesi Sakwaino. Na yemfam to ni ding as Rebecca Kufado highway. I don't care. But let that be her legacy. Let her do something that people in Ningo Prampram will remember her. Say oye Ningoni and nyawa ye edia bwani maini. But if she continues following the people she's following all around in the town. Now my can't say guna some. Me, she's my auntie. I want her else Obakroma. They will hutate.
No, but
because she has absolutely no. I'm saying she has no legacy. Phones know her.
Yes.
Her office is listening.
Yes.
Says she has done anything of note. A legacy in Ningo Pramprama. One friend me liar.
No, but the point is, Sam, because oye auntie in the more familiar relationship, we a member of parliament for the constituency, you have an office or a letterhead any other. What's your relationship with the office of the first lady? That's the point I want to know. Would the project be a code name say okay, Ufri Ningo, Wayne you need. I mean, she's
working closely with the DC's office, so the DC should help her get it. But like I said, me, I will continue to use these platforms to advise her. So 1 year, I can't 1.5 years. She has absolutely no legacy in Ningo. In the constituency and in the traditional area she comes from, Ningo, she has no legacy.
And you think that 14.5 kilometer road will be a solid legacy for her?
If she did only that, at least you had the back, I know. But as of today, so bus now, man, my bus now another 5 years. Bus the air car the air car, SAA, nakadeng. But ye quina, and I see CBB Mawa. Recently, the little girl I supported to do TV3 Talented Kids, she was invited by the first lady. And Mikacha and Papa said, first lady, Mikacha said they should tell the first lady to come and build a special needs school. Because girl is a special needs child.
Okay.
Strangely, she has problems with hearing and speech. But to me, music, so build a special needs school in honor of that girl. Look, I have given several advices on what to do. But as I say, Sam George, they don't want to listen. 1.5 years later,
but maybe the advice go through a proper channel. If you use platforms,
am I supposed to be the one to even tell the first lady, Sebita Fracture, Obi, say, and no be Omanpaying, and I will hear by Omanpaying. Unya ma ukrom and then on dinikunu echi enkochebi
yes
when who juma ya ochebi cemetery cry ya asphalt ho so won nima at least we call ukunu kroma ade first nyansan where some just say catch or say do something for the community where you come from.
If you are saying say omo 10 one kwa na bibi visible ma app or ningo in her name or bafie be den ama no
and you mean make out the oba
in apart from what you think the first lady should have done you know, for you as some George, when your tenure is over,
we're talking about my legacy.
Yes.
We'll come back to that. Yes. You look at human capital development, issues of education. As we speak, when I went to Ningo Pram, where we school, sir, certificate ben on SS. See, SS SS certificate so we have put over 350 children in the university.
350?
Yes.
In the university.
A BA graduate, in fact, one of them who we helped in Accra Poly, this election, was starting Juma, or sending me a message, and I can show it to you. Or say, Honorable, I want to support you with a widow's mind for fuel, or send him 1,000 Ghana cedis. Or BA, na oni graduate, oni certificate, yet didn't share a poly. Ultimacy, ene. Ono I start to say oye juma ama otome send them 1,000 Ghana cedis. I mean, I was so touched by it because it means a lot. Say that's it. You bet me a kind. The message was sent on Friday.
On Friday. Also, good evening, boss. I have a token of 1,000 Ghana cedis to help you buy fuel for tomorrow. Please hope Momo would be fine. And I was like, oh, my brother, thanks so much. Okay.
Because it touched me. Say, Obia, now, Okra SS, Abraham call constituency or Ayeboano, a man call a poly. Say, I will be our Juma, or to me send 1,000 Ghana. So you can imagine what that person is now doing for Nemami, and then the Papa will feel. And that is our legacy. Again, one of the key things we've done is a lot of people the one call University of Education Winneba. Because when they say at the point in time, the whole Ningo Primary were only 2 Dangme teachers.
As in local
Dangme, yes, 2 teachers.
2 teachers, the whole constituency.
And we had more 3 teachers than Dangme. And so I decided that we should push a lot more of our children to go and learn, do Bachelor of Education,
Dangme, okay. There is a course like that.
Yes, Winneba. University of Education, Winneba.
Okay.
And I've used this platform again to make a request. We've already written to the GES to appeal to them, say, some Kofono graduates here, post them back, because you post them to the north and to the Ashanti region, you've wasted them.
Yeah.
Post them back to the Dangme areas, because that's why we are sponsoring their education. You get it? And so education has been a critical thing for me. And whilst I tackled that at the tertiary level, I've looked at the kindergarten and decided to make kindergarten, no, Charlie, in Colonity blocks. And at that time, my kids were in kindergarten as well in Accra. So I went to the school my kids attend in Accra and asked them, some nice plastic colored chairs. And they showed me. And we bought, and basically we've done about 80% of all the kindergartens
with staff furniture
and table. And then that's why I asked the Jata Foundation to help me build the 4 units kindergarten block.
I saw it. I saw it.
Just
on
I think on the 1st of May or something, or 2nd of May. You know, and we're focused on the basis, because for me, say the basic level, no, who build the love for education now, the kids will stay in the classroom more. Because Charlie Galam said, no, I had a dream on my home.
Now, good, no, hey? Which part?
Run first. Now, one call upload, one call fishing. One journey for classroom, no call fishing. They say, I know, one journey for fishing, no, call Galam say pits, no. One see they get more money from there.
Galam say pit, no, hey?
Baby, I to Galam say Western region, Ashanti region.
Like, free other place.
That's all they're running away from the classrooms and going there.
Okay.
So we need to keep them in the classrooms and make them enjoy. And apart from that, we're also doing a lot of support for vocational skills. And say, for example, Pram vocational school, no, for several years, they had not been recognized by CODVET. Maybe I remember that very well. What CODVET needed was some small money to give them accreditation. I wrote a personal check for the school and made sure that right now it is the Pram vocational school. It is under CODVET. They are able to go through the training and write and get a proper certification. Yeah, they are there. So for me, education has been a critical part. I mean, the other things of social interventions about healthcare, we do all of those. I mean, we do health screenings. For example, next week, Wednesday, there's a team of 70 doctors from the US.
Okay.
They've arrived. From Wednesday.
At your behest?
Yes.
Okay.
Through in conjunction with the Amazing Grace Foundation,
Okay.
Dr. Gloria Nimo, or a Ghana, or a doctor, first now or a nurse, or a doctor or New York University Teaching Hospital. This is the third time they're coming down to do pediatric care, maternal care, gynecological and obstetrics, and then dental care. And for 3 days they will be in Ningo and Pram simultaneously. And we do all of those little things. Security, we are teaching over 1,000 street lights just to boost security in the area. About 30 motorbikes to the police service, 2 pickups for the police, and all of that. I mean, we've done a lot of things just to make sure that the life of people are better. Farmers, fertilizer, tractor services. 1 year I distributed over 6,000 bags of fertilizer for free. At the time, I buy a 50% rebate. So we paid for it and give it out to them for free. So we've done quite a lot of work in our small way.
But I think what is the most critical need of your people? Some would say roads, because I recall say community concern and maybe phone lines calls be free or constituency be and I will be sending me a video of a bridge. No,
that's the one.
Yeah,
and
it looks really terrible.
And again, like I said, the road projects are a function of the ability of government. We hear a lot about year of roads and all of that. Most of the roads that are challenged, the major roads that are challenged, contractor also. For example,
contractor also.
The name of the contractor is Simain. Overpass, from Palace, Eliko East Legon.
Yes.
There's a big time contractor. But Abayin in Tianaka, when this government came in, that road was awarded by Inus Afuseni under the former Mahama administration, MP. It was awarded as a 4-lane asphalt road. They stalled the project. And see 4 lanes, no problem. 2 lanes. At least to me use it. I mean, the contractor came, started working funds. So he's abandoned site. Subbridge now saying, I took the videos to the minister. Minister no who say, oh Sam, they be waiting here. He called the director of bridges, and so the director of bridges came to the constituency on a Saturday to come and look at it. But see, they've not been able to come and do it because even though Minister Ama approval, funding for it to be done has not been released. You understand me? So and then the problem again is that Ningo Pram, look, there are places where in 2020 election, me far home and Crawford foam, foam, and their estate houses are here torn back $400,000, $500,000. They've sold almost all the farmlands, especially in the Pram area, and they become huge estates. Now they sold these lands as service plots, but they didn't do anything about the road.
Any road.
And so before Abbott's now horses here, and now the MP is the one being asked. And even when you go to the assembly, who have the engineer, and you want to get some work done. Ningo Pram is a district, not a municipality.
Yeah, still a district.
It's still a district, and it is only municipalities that have roads engineers.
Yes.
So Ningo Pram doesn't have a roads engineer. So Ningo Pram is under the Ashaman road engineer. And so when you even need anything done like demarcations and layouts and all of that, you have to call the guy from Ashaman. I just said, other agents and our these are some of the critical things that we're having to deal with and challenges. So we hope that we can become a municipality, so we have our own roads engineer, then we can begin to work better. District need own grader, because at the time now graders under Professor Mills 2010 we had not been made a district here. We're still under Dangwe West in Shai Osudoku. And the grader now akadodoa. And so we don't have. This government has come in, has not done a retooling of assemblies. And say, who person will use it as MP cra, who person will taught diesel. Not greater than any Juma. I just say, who straight tema. And now straight Punkatamanso. Now say, I just said, what would you see? What would the answer? You understand me? When I was candidate in 2016 and we're still in government, I had to go to NADMO and National Security to get equipment from there. And then I'm not in government. It's difficult. You go to National Security, they don't give it to you, you know, per se. But those are some of the challenges, you know, because in 2016, I got a machine from NADMO. I got a machine from National Security, and for 14 days they were just cutting roads. We bought diesel, they were cutting and reshaping roads. It made it more trouble. Even if you are not able to do bitumen, now to make but and then me here, I just said me short to district engineer through the DC. Now on also Utromana ebi ni ho. I just also betro e de akopon anatema. Now one of the bema one now I catch say only 1 day and not 2 days spend na one the best. Can you do with it? You get it. So these are some of the real challenges that we face.
Meaning, sir, under your tenure as MP, no, there is no road. Maybe a okokoto na roadway and yet umetimi ayewi. In the past
I have done that. I have done that. Uko between Dawa,
okay.
Dawa ne Pantrendo, Dawa to Mango Chonya,
okay,
to Michael's hometown,
okay.
It's an 18-kilometer road. Me Koya as MP na in Futro Kwai. But we lobbied, we pushed for it. IB Megida na contractor na was no. That road has been completely done. It's been completed. In fact, the remaining stretch from Old Ningo to Mango Chonya. Again, I got approval for it, but the challenge now is money, payment. Yeah, I already contract 113 million, but once it didn't call contractor now a lot of work on the road, but once it didn't call you understand me? New Jerusalem to Apollonia, sometime no Ameu, Etsisa area, no, and minister, no, that road has been done. My wombs and a yes, I quite know. So you get me. So there have been some good roads done. As we speak right now, from Pram going to Pone, there's a contractor on the road. That road has also been awarded, but cash and a problem. No? So there are few roads, there are 2 or 3 roads I have pointed out that have been completed under my tenure. So it's not as though, even though I'm very critical of government, that's the second point I was making, that lobbying does not necessarily mean that I have to sucker up to government. Even though I'm critical of government, we know how to get things done out of government. And so we've gotten those roads completed, but then you still want a lot more. There's still a lot of roads that have to be done. The critical one for me is the Afenya-Dowenya road. Afenya-Dowenya road. That road, Semaine is there. They just have to pay him.
And on a bridge, no also.
Okay. And in fact, the argument is the road is designed to have a concrete bridge. And in fact, now Busumbi wo Nsubi baby a bridge no Busum fee bi wo ya bubu Busum fee no kra ama ya tia compensation to move Abusum no ya the idea. All of that has been done. But now pay for the bridge to be done. Well done. There was got to move the Busum by any start that bridge.
Ekosiisen,
and then the one I may say first lady in free Chopoli to Old
Ningo. Asempa FM, so the Honorable Sam George and AD and Como. In the Asher legacy in the constituency, there are still some other issues. But answer ma minfa way in Chem, me pacho Access Bank at the Achadian Kwa promotion about Achadian Kwa promotion. It's throughout the month of May, June, and July. Achadian Kwa throughout these 3 months. Access Bank's remittance promo is back to reward you for sending and receiving money from your loved ones. You get free airtime instantly and a lot of exciting branded gift items when you send or receive 500 Ghana cedis and above through Access Africa, Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, ZPay, Unity Link, and Express Pay. Sendi sika obi wa amano no sendi uska through any of these platforms. Nasa wonso saka wa through any of these platforms. Access Bank uska kwa. Nkasa in the receive branded items, airtime, many other gifts. In the receive monies directly into your Access Bank account, your mobile money wallet, or over the counter. It is free when you receive your remittances into your Access Bank account. It is yes, send you free man any big Access Bank account tomorrow. Free. you know, area until be bia say bia usika beda hunting the air till be kakra debi. So tell a friend to tell another friend. The Access Bank Achadian Kwa promotion is here, and there is no limit to the gift you can receive. So you can receive. Once I send you 500 Ghana cedis and above, Access Bank you need to be part of this one. Don't be left out. Visit any of our 53 branches. Access Bank branches are Ghana Bako 53 on weekdays and some selected branches on Saturdays for all your remittance transactions. Access Bank, your number one remittance bank. Access Bank, more than banking. In the moment na unso fa wo ho ehim the Achadian Kwa promotion. Massive menka enada and odo hushemu a ebetimi aboa papa ntimunsha nenso emfa emayen ma memfa wesu entwam weye Airtel Tigo na the Airtel Tigo eka and say we Airtel Tigo subscriber na say wuntimi enregister or SIM card na you have to do it. I was so register with SIM card. And yes, data NC Asheno say emrene swan or SIM card no would be permanently disconnected. Permanently, it will be disconnected. And that's effective 31st May. If you have some time, register with SIM card. The Airtel to go ayama on say omo say 5 gig data free. Once you register instantly, na unsa etumi aka. You can visit the nearest Airtel Tigo shop immediately with your Ghana card. Na register with Airtel Tigo SIM card. Na bibi entimi nkoyema. One register you become after 31st May 2023. Airtel Tigo life is simple. Into mama yenyina yenshanenso. Sounds so ena Electricity Company of Ghana. Say any omako cashless. The ECG wishes to inform the general public, especially our cherished customers. So with the introduction of the enhanced ECG Power app, customers are required to do cashless business with ECG anytime and anywhere. And then you know, and you have this ECG office be no triama cashier be near the debit. ECG Power app ne enhance no just download ne shasi e use benefits no endorse. It allows credit top up for your smart prepayment meters. It accepts payment for mobile money wallet, Visa and MasterCard for ECG transactions. It'll help you generate bank invoice for payment. Serves as platform for reporting and resolving issues. O fault, eba, okanye dum, omita, face beer dumubitma reporter on the app. ECG for beba, ababeshe edi amount. Accept payment for all invoices generated by ECG. Refunds challenged top-ups. Provide history of payment transactions and consumption information. You will say, bills are what over the period. Ubetimi enya ewo so say o consumption up so every month saying I be consuming ubetimi enya ewo ECG Power app no eso. Amount notifications and alert from ECG. Very convenient, safe and secure. 24/7 ubetimi eyusu. Customers should please download the ECG Power app from Google Play Store or App Store. If you have a non-smartphone, so phone in your smartphone, just dial *226# *226# to access the ECG Power app for all transactions. For assistance or further info, visit the nearest ECG office or our website at ecg.com.gh. That's a free ECG call center 0302 611 611 0302 611 611. Help ECG to serve you better. Ade here papa in the bomodin say won so de ho ebetumi ashim. Ekosiisen na high Asempa FM. Neat Confectionaries Ghana Limited. Neat cocoa drink ne say won no mu bia. It's the Neat chocolate drink. Pebinenom 250 ml bottle no nya bia beboa 180 ml Tetra packs so depa made from Ghana's finest and wholesome cocoa and kwalanom impenyifonom Neat chocolate drink. Brutal. You can need no so taste of Ghana. Be on malls, Melcom, ShopRite, Petrol Mart, now Binya Biato. Fre 0244 824 216 0244 824 216. I hope I do it to her. Now, once somebody is baby, etimi ato. Anom. Ekosiisen Melcom say we there for you. Ja, it is open your mouth. Melcom has got you covered. products ranging from stationery, electronics, homeware, kitchenware, furniture, home decor, electricals, groceries. The part to be a bonus so for Melcom. They say a Melcom shops. There's a BMA kese kama urawa spacious parking area, items no dorso under one roof. The part to be obinya biato ewa Melcom. T's and C's apply. Melcom is where Ghana shops. Honorable Mamin Sayem now hope you are in this 8th Parliament. Yes.
I mean, sure.
Okay. Yeah. In the way, greetings, Honorable. Can you please help us with grader on the New Land Road? This is Augustine. Okay, New Land okay, Palms Hotel area. Was a more hotel or Palms? The Palms.
I know.
Area also be a Palm.
Yeah. New Land Mataico.
Oh, Mataico. Okay. Okay.
And so you see the problems.
Onya grader.
Grader, but grader need constituency. Grader need district. These are the challenges we're talking about.
And grader nya there obet me the MP's common fund that to be.
Chief. Hey. Common fund na yes. The opponent a calculation of me total common fund about during the campaign 2.2 million Ghana cedis. 2.2 million Ghana cedis at the net we $200,000.
Yeah, $200,000. And that's all the common fund.
2017 I may buy. You get it. So it's just, and we call renting graders this year. A day is almost 10,000.
Yeah.
Before you buy diesel and
diesel
you know? So those are the real challenges that we face.
Yeah, I get
but
you.
District Ninyani there, it's easy to go toward diesel.
You fuel it now. One thing is saying this 8th Parliament, define this Parliament is the private members bill only with colleagues sponsor currently. It was stage based consideration stage.
Yes, about for second reading.
About for second reading for now.
Okay. We're done with the consideration at the committee clause by clause, and this is about flow no for clause by clause consideration.
Do you think, sir, election way I will call now the LGBT lobby no more interest or election way more?
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
I know so. I know so.
And what was the interest? No more interest here then. To see you lose.
We use some judge for her. I know. I'm enemy number one. I'm public enemy number one.
Because you were the face of the advocacy.
Cartoons now. Release
Oh, who was that information in?
Oh yeah. Okay, said guy be out or to on some UK station be. Wow,
yeah. I remember.
Why Numa and can release the trolley me. That's how prepared they were for they were sure that I was going to lose the elections. But
do you believe the narrative said they somehow tried to influence this election? Maybe support.
I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact.
Through support to opponent,
absolutely.
That narrative is true?
Yes, it is.
As far as you are concerned?
Yes, it is. It is. And that's why I called on the religious bodies to also show their hands. In their case, they didn't give resources.
Yeah.
Or what they gave was prayer. And what they gave was endorsement of us. And so Becca said a coalition led by Fuamweni.
Yes.
That coalition is made up of the Christian Council, the National Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, the National Association of Charismatic Churches, Catholic Bishops Conference, the Apostolic Fathers, the Office of the Chief Imam, Ahmadiyya Movement, Coalition of Muslim Groups, Advocate for Christ. Yes.
Omunina throw support behind endorse.
Yes. And you see, Obi, Mami for platform way na menda Ghana for us. Because election way, although Ghana for because you see, it is mind-boggling the number of people who fasted and prayed on their own just for this. It is shocking. Salaka on one own just to make sure that some joy. Imam say kind Quran. Prayer chains are almost setting up prayer chains. Some churches held a whole fasting and prayer for a week for some election way.
Oh, it went that far.
And that's why I kept saying it was a battle between light and darkness. I kept saying that this election, it wasn't about Sam George. Ballot paper, but it was deeper. You know, the heads of churches, senior heads of churches, I'm far phone a frame, a bumpire mommy, a shaman crying, encouraging me to go ahead, that they were standing with me. Obi, and look, I have seen videos from Tamale of the celebration when the announcement was made. Says Sam George are winning. At that time, no, not candidates in Sujina MPs in Sujina MPs no LED delegates to celebrate the victory in
the victory of Sam George,
not their own,
rather than a more victory.
That's how important this was. Minya Mutala at 2 p.m. Mutala Mohammed 2 p.m. of frame with the constituency chairman and vice chairman. Besame say, how is my election going? Abra election is also what
yeah, true as well.
The constituency vice chairman bompire mama catch him say, I should make sure say because they are all waiting for my victory. On the same day they were having their own elections. So this was not about Sam George. This was bigger than Sam George. You know, my sister Lydia and is it Tempani?
Yeah.
She went unopposed, but whilst they were having their congress, not offer almost every hour, not offer Bisamase. I mean, wow. It meant so much to so many people.
Now, the Catholic, the religious heads in our country, into so some of these big churches, Apostolic Church in Pennyfor,
Church of Pentecost,
Wawa Sorry, Parish Chapel,
Royal House.
Yeah, you mean all these
Bishop Titi of
all these big pastors reached out to you,
Chief. You phone encouraging messages on the Friday night
before the election,
voice note messages. You know, a big crowd were outside the country, time zone. At the time, now I'm messaging me. We say anadro midnight. I'm messaging me. Shaman crying. Catch him say, look, we are praying and standing with you. And so this was not about me. This was about God. This was about the country. And you see, it's made me realize, Ghana for recognize when they want to recognize and support you. Onya, look, there were delegates who said to me, Honorable, my name opinion way or MPP or ye constituency executive and now ye party nipa or MPP but my name no as ejuma but frame me I'm warning say LGBT anti-LGBTQ bill nente me ye NDC ni on him say me ye delegate won go pam me warning say man hweye na makoto etia wo na onho a na manwani a juma wo de bedi me some work for if I want to delegate works in a senior MPP person's company.
Okay.
Also, the party catches obey need. And the party catches a picture of the vote. Say what to
wow.
Because look, the support for this bill is not just NDC. There are senior people, there are people in the office of the president who picked the phone and called me and prayed for me.
Office of the president?
Yes. Because what we are talking and what we are fighting about, and your political law, and look, like I keep saying, this one I will show you some of the things. You don't need to mention names.
Sure.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM 94.7.
Now we share message now down here.
Yeah. Congratulations, Honorable. I thank God for your victory. We would always pray for you. Wow.
When the power sending me a message.
Yeah.
And there's several more of this. You know. So it is. Look.
But what this means, they say now because of the trust, we'll start with because we are almost like a national support in this election, it means everything you and your colleagues will do to push this bill through, you would have to do it now.
Obi, with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man, not Batman, I can't Spider-Man.
Yeah.
because I'm asking myself, I can't fail the millions of Ghanaians in Ghana and outside who prayed, who supported, who called. No, you be insure 100 packets. Every you see, Ningoni be or Ohio. And I was one man is come and Ninu constituency was say, now they support. I mean, people did things to make this election happen. And I owe it to every single one of them. And so for me, I can make only one pledge and one commitment that I will not rest until this bill is passed. And not just this bill, but I would not rest to continue to be a voice for the ordinary Ghanaian. Because I realize people appreciate the fact that we stand up and speak for the ordinary Ghanaian in a lot of because my advocacy has gone beyond. It's not just the LGBTQ, be it SIM registration, be it closure of radio stations, and a number of other things, brutalities against citizens from media men and citizens from security services. We would continue to speak.
Ekosiisen on
and
Asempa
whether it is the NDC, and I'm confident the NDC will win in 2025 by God's grace. Under the next Mahama administration, I will remain a very critical voice. And everybody should prepare for it. Because we need to have a certain cadre of critical voices that act as checks and balances on us.
Even on their own party.
Absolutely. It is the only way you can keep your party on track. You understand me? Because he who you love, the Bible says, he who the Lord loves, he chastises. You understand me? And say, because say penny ya, say but what can I yet to me see? And so for me, it's about this country, because Obi, we have only one country. And so for me, I have come to that place where I've told myself that, Sam, you will do your politics, but your politics must always carry the country along. And that for me is it's a big lesson I've learned. I told you I learned lessons from every election. It's a big lesson I've learned from here. And there are those who say, oh, but Sam George said he puts the NDC above Ghana. But I've always said, political parties are vehicles that we use to steer the affairs of the state. So I don't see the day the NDC decides that it's going to take a corporate decision against the interest of the country. It is to be a party worth supporting. So if I support the NDC, it is because what the NDC is championing is for the betterment of the country.
Interest of the country.
You can't segregate both. You understand me? And so for me, and that's why for me, I would continue to be critical. If you listen to some of my interviews post these elections, I did PM Express and all. I've been calling on the party to take certain measures. For example, working on internal discipline. Because you see, we need to have discipline as a party.
Where discipline means what? Discipline
within the party. That's a party. That's a multimedia. You, if I'm not mistaken, you have over 300 staff or 700 staff.
Kumasi included.
Fantastic. Just multimedia, 700 staff. Don't you take disciplinary measure?
Sure, we do.
Then imagine the NDC that had over 6 million votes and has over 4 million registered members. You need to have discipline in the party. If you don't instill discipline in the party, everybody becomes law and God unto himself. So it's important that we instill discipline. And for me, I have always held the view, say, me bra penyin swaga na Abba Studio says here. Say swaga ye ade a enya. You shouldn't say he's a former MPNT.
Intiminka.
Yeah, sir. Say branch chairman be. Me constituency the same thing. I bet me akasa nini. So don't tell me somebody is an elder of the party and now he was there in 79 or 1 year. Let us have discipline. When the party is disciplined, we will win power in a heartbeat like this.
But you don't.
And it would help us. It would help us to govern the country better.
You don't see the current national executives doing that?
No, that's why I'm calling on them, because I trust them.
Okay.
Because Obia Oye, your chairman, and Johnson, I said, when he was general secretary, and you don't know Pamo Alote Jacobs ni Koka Hero.
Yeah.
He took that decision. And I trust the strength of Asedu Nketia when it comes to taking tough decisions. I have seen him stick his neck out when even the majority are not in favor of it. Or see, this is the way to go. It is the one you trust that you call on. Say, Obina, if I don't trust you to do something, why will I call on you to do it? I've sat in parliament. I met Fifi Kwete in parliament. I know the strength of character that Fifi has. And that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm making this call now. As I say, Nipa Oye national chairman and Nipa Oye general secretary. These two people, if they say they will instill discipline in the NDC, nobody can stand in their way.
Have you seen traits of indiscipline beer? Ubitma highlights the way or munche.
And it's an internal party issue. I've raised those issues with them.
By a BB or man swanu ebe hardring.
Oh yes, it's important that the party has discipline. Any party that doesn't have discipline cannot win power. No, you can't win power if you don't have discipline. And look at the NDC in 2005, 2006 after the breakaway from the NDC. What was left? Wayo and Co brought discipline into the party. The party was focused. There was tunnel vision. Everybody was singing from the same hymn book.
And you won 2008.
Yes, but when there is no discipline and there is discordant views, everybody is low to themselves. You can't create the synergy you need to win power. We have 16 months or 18 months to the general election. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to Ghana. We owe it to John Mahama to unite this party and be disciplined. An electoral machine that wins is a disciplined one.
Yeah.
And so when we do all the campaigning and talk about everything, the base of it is discipline. Discipline puts everybody in line, such that when the leader, our new leader, John Dramani Mahama, who is now leader of the party, Oma direction, Obi an sorry wo ne krasi and ne constituency counter instruction. Dabi. Everybody is on the same page. We fall in line and go behind the leader. But when you have pockets of centers of power, where interest and leader the matching order, now Obi or say left hand, now be 10 right. No. We can't run a party like that.
And so far, that is what you see now.
I haven't said that's what I'm seeing now. I'm calling. Be careful. Be careful. You don't want me to open fire on you. I have not said anywhere that's what I'm seeing now.
A question.
And I'm saying, I am calling on our leadership because I trust in their abilities
to ensure
that discipline. Because the core ingredient for our victory
is discipline.
If the party is disciplined, Obi,
you can win the elections.
Look, I keep saying, it's a Usa Ghana for line 33 million Ghanaians. And now for 18 million voters. Now some line 10. Now see NDC to the right, MPP to the left, NDC for doors, say MPP for.
You sure about that?
The doors will say one more. But it is discipline that will help you to get all of your people.
Of them to fall behind
Absolutely.
you. My final question to you, Sam, would be, earlier you made a point, through this advocacy, people don't know the sacrifices you've had to make, and some of the losses are when you're personally. Do you mind to share a movie?
Oh, I'll write a book after, and I'll chronicle, and especially when we are done. But I mean, and it's not just me.
It's colleagues.
Yeah. You've forgotten. I can make reference to some because they are already public.
Yeah.
Suhini was rejected a visa to Holland.
Yeah, Mekai.
And the reason for rejection was that he lacked social ties to Ghana. A member of parliament, sitting member of parliament, lacks social ties. And so on that particular matter, I had to tweet at the Dutch ambassador and tell him that I was also going to make a list of all Dutch businesses in Ghana and call for a boycott of all Dutch businesses. Then he came back and said, and made for me what was the most silly excuse ever, that it was an administrative error. Then I sent back a tweet to him and said, that even shows how poor he is at being an ambassador. If an application of a diplomatic passport holder coming from the office of the Speaker of Parliament for an official trip can be subject to an administrative error. What is happening to several other ordinary Ghanaians who are paying so much and you are rejecting them visas? Are we to assume that there's so much administrative error there? The next day, they granted him the visa.
Wow.
I went to do a program in LSE, for example, you know. I needed a student account. The university gave me a letter.
Yeah.
The bank refused to open an account for me.
In the UK?
Yes. As we speak now, I can't change $1 anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yes. They've put me on a money laundering list. They claim I'm laundering money for evangelical conservatives in the US. So I can't change, not anywhere. And I've done some travels in the UK and Dubai. I can't change because when I say who got change here, you better swipe your passport. Yes, swipe your passport now. Now when we say
Sam George.
Now when we say Kasha, then they hand your passport back to you and like as though we and they're like, no, we can't change for you. Sorry.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Masa. You have to find the currency of the country. I just saw Copenhagen and Nibi now or you use your bank card. I can't travel with money. You travel and you get pulled out. Even when I travel my diplomatic passport, you get pulled out of the line. You think that maybe they want to give you a special service because they've seen the diplomatic passport. They put you in a room for 2 hours. You just leave you sitting there.
Since Advocacy we shall see.
Yes. Pull you out, leave you sitting there for 2 hours. Embarrass you because then you've gotten off a plane with Ghanaians and people see security people come and surround you and walk you into a room, set your bags and all of that, just to harass you.
Now,
but you see those things, they don't know me well. Those things, they give me hunger to pass this bill. It is those things that spur me on, because the more you try to break me, the harder I'll come at you.
And you've not gotten to a point where I say, Charlie, is this worth it? Why don't I forget this? And
Obi, it is like we say in our faith. I put my hands to the plow. There's no turning back. I've crossed the Rubicon. I've bent that bridge. I can't go back. And that's why, for me, recently the shenanigans now, Attorney General, I said to him that, look, you better be careful. I can understand why the Attorney General made those comments last week. He made those comments 48 hours before the government went to the IMF, went for the board level. So it was posturing. Because for the Attorney General to say in an interview with your sister station Joy that there are financial considerations in our bill.
Or say the bill in its current form, if it's passed, the president might not assent.
The Attorney General was not being truthful. He was being dishonest. Because the Attorney General said to Parliament on record at the committee level that the bill in its current form is fit for purpose and does not impose a financial charge. At the committee level, me be a direct question. Miss Sam George, me be a direct question. Me see, Honorable Godfrey Dami, I want to hear from you for the records. Is our bill, after we have gone through clause by clause, because any report, in his report, he had stated that there were financial considerations. But by the time he came before us, we had done a lot of work on the bill. And he running it through, and I'm say, I want to find out from you, does this bill have any challenges or are you comfortable with it? And the chairman of the committee, were overruling me question. Because I was putting the Attorney General on the spot, and the Attorney General sought leave of the chairman and said he wants to answer. And said, Sam, quote me anywhere in the media that I said your bill is good. And in fact, even went ahead to tell me, say, I should quote him as saying, say, he supports the bill.
Godfrey Dami.
Put Godfrey Dami on the line today. Call him right now and let him deny that he said to me that I should quote him as saying that he supports the bill in its current shape and form and that it is fit for purpose. In fact, before the committee, he said several things about how this bill expands the frontiers of our marriage. In fact, when it comes to the Marriage Act, he said that, look, as far as it's concerned, in fact, Section 104 of the Criminal Offences Act, Godfred Dami said he thought that as it stands today on our books is discriminatory, and that this bill takes away the discrimination because Section 104 talks about slightest level of penetration, and he holds the view said lesbians cannot do penetration, and so our bill evens out corrects that. He went ahead to cite the Children's Act and say when we say you cannot adopt or foster children. There have been amendments to the Children's Act, even in that. So we are strengthening the Children's Act. When we say we're voiding marriages, he said it is right because the Marriage Act recognizes marriage as a union between a man and a woman. Our bill takes it further to say a union between a man and woman whose sex was determined biologically at birth. He was in favor of all of that. And I said, Godfred Dami said to me that I should quote him anywhere that he supports the bill. So why is he now saying that if the bill went to the president could not sign that the constitutional challenges? If the government was going for an IMF program 2 days later, he should have been minded about his comments, and that's what I'm saying. He'll be part of the debate, and I will put it to him on the floor and bring the records from the committee, because committee records are part of the records of the House.
Okay.
So our Attorney General must let us know what his stance is. He should stop flip-flopping. If they were going to the IMF and they needed approval, that's fine. We understand it. We need to save our economy. It's fine. Go, but don't come and flip-flop and try and paint a picture that there is a problem with the bill after you yourself have said you support it, after you yourself have given it a clean bill of health. Go and take the committee's report. The committee's report that was laid on the Thursday before Parliament rose on the 30th of March includes the Attorney General's approval. There is a paragraph that speaks about the Attorney General saying that he's comfortable with the bill.
As it stands
now. So what is he talking about?
Okay.
It is such hypocrisy that gets me worked up. Yeah, but because your yes must be yes, your no must be no. We understand that yes, you had to go to the IMF, but did you by all means have to create a problem for the bill?
Very well. I mean, you are even much more resolved now to see this through, despite all the personal costs to you. Sure. And Adinina. But we say, Obi, do you recall any other alternative, knowledgeable voice on the communication subsector on the many issues that have come up in that sector aside Sam George? We sure can give it to him on that, right? Samson Ladi Anyanini. And anyway,
Samson. I'm grateful.
Yeah,
I'm grateful.
Yeah. And the Titus Glover and so say, hi Obi, I'm enjoying Sam George's discussion with you. I call him the spear.
Yes. You see, I told you the senior. Titus prayed for me.
Oh.
I can show you because he sent a message.
Yeah.
I can mention his name. He prayed for me to have victory. He called me and encouraged me because of the LGBTQ bill. And that's why he sent you a message. He says, as far as he's concerned on this matter, I am the spear and the whole country must back it.
Sam George, we wish you very well.
I'm grateful.
I'm hoping you go through the rest of your tenure, because you are still MP for Ningo Pram Pram. The rest of your tenure.
1 year, 7 months.
And then in 2024, we'll see what happens.
The Lord will see us through. Of course. Definitely.
What's our target here? To open a 50,000 gap?
No, to get 100,000 votes for the NDC.
Ningo Pram Pram.
Yes.
Now, registered voters, yes,
99,000.
And so how do you get 100,000?
That's a very limited registration.
Oh, okay.
A very limited registration. For me, I ran under a certain grace of double portion. In 2016, I got 26,000.
Yeah.
In 2020, we got maybe 50,000.
Okay.
The gap was 10,000 in 2016. It's 30,000.
Yeah.
So from 50,000, we are going to 100,000. That grace will see us through.
Wow.
And once again, let me just say a very big thank you to the delegates of Ningo Pram Pram.